Welcome to Upgrade Envie, a series about improvements you can make to your board games to make them stand out just a little bit more. Today we're talking about dice trays, and specifically this dice tray that was sent to us by Foam Brain Games. They call these Chromatic Trays, where the graphic is UV printed onto the wood. Foam Brain Games will be launching a Kickstarter for these trays in the middle of October with 15 different designs to choose from, as well as the option for custom images. We'll be talking more about that Kickstarter later in this video. But first, what is a dice tray and why do you need one? A dice tray is essentially any sort of confined space that you can roll dice into. They're made in a number of different shapes and sizes, like this rectangular one here, or you can find circular dice trays, octagonal dice trays, and many more. They're generally made from wood, but you can find dice trays that are made in metal, plastic, leather, and even foam core, which are particularly popular among the do-it-yourself crowd. So now that we know what a dice tray is, why do you need a dice tray? Imagine that evil cultists are a hair's breadth away from summoning Cthulhu into the world. All that stands in their way is a group of heroes and this final desperate attack. You roll your dice and... Did the great old one make his way into the world, or were the heroes victorious? We'll let you know in about 10 minutes when we finally find all the missing dice. Or you can keep all your dice on the table where they belong by getting yourself a dice tray. Last desperate attack against Cthulhu? Fighting a white lion in a nightmarish hellscape. Assembling artistic stained glass windows. Playing Feudum incorrectly. Whatever game these dice are from. Never again will your dice fall victim to senseless floor violence. There's even a nice little side bend here to hold your dice while you aren't using them. Maybe you want to use your dice tray for a game of Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, if you're anything like me, you're going to need a few more dice to play D&D. Perfect. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this dice tray by Foam Brain Games. Again, this is what they're calling their chromatic line because of the graphics that are being printed onto the wood itself. This is a UV printing process, and the final layer of this process actually has a textured quality to the rolling surface itself. But with that textured quality, you get extra durability. It's basically put there to prevent the graphic itself from taking damage. Now I've been rolling dice into this tray for a couple of days now, including some of my gemstone dice, which are heavier than normal dice, and I haven't really noticed any damage to the graphic itself. So in terms of durability, this is really quite well done. This graphic is called the 8-bit RPG tray, and I like it because it's reminiscent of old Zelda games. But they'll be having this along with 14 other options available during their Kickstarter, as well as the option of doing a custom graphic of your own, which is really interesting because you can do things like print a photo onto the tray and then present it as a present of some sort. And I think that's really interesting. They're only offering the one wood type for now, which is this maple with a walnut finish, but I quite like the look of it, so that doesn't particularly bother me. Everything seems to be well constructed. There's no significant gaps. There's no fiddliness to the pieces. Everything is really well put together. They are only offering this one 6x9 size for now, but I've been told that they hope to offer stretch goals for larger sizes. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely keep your eye on the Kickstarter once it launches. So that's all we have for you today. We hope you've enjoyed the video, and we hope that it's helped you decide on whether or not a dice tray is something that you need for yourself.